Advaita Pancharatnam of Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Acharya, explained by Sri D.B. Ganguly. We have seen already around 5 sessions the first shloka. We were seeing explanation of the first shloka. So we shall continue now. Shivoham, I am Shiva, Shivaha Aham. Those who in this manner carry out the intuitive deliberation distinguishing between Atman and Anatman and cognize their Pratyagatman do not get deluded by the false notions like we exist in this world. These bodies which appear within the world are indeed ourselves. Like us, there exist many others in this world, and among them there are people about whom we entertain opinions like some are friends, some are foes or enemies. Some others are those towards whom we have to be indifferent, udasinam, that is negligence. So, Suhrun Mitra Yudasina Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu. In Bhagavad Gita, we see this shloka. So, for in Yoga Darshana, Patanjali Yoga Darshana also we see how we have to react. For about Sajjanas, we have to be friends. Towards Durjanas or wicked men, wicked people, bad people, we should be like Udasina. Hmm? Hmm. That is, we should not entertain them like that. Hmm? We should be negligent towards them. Enemy, for the enemies, you should be negligent. So that is the thing. So here they have realized in their intuitive experience that we are really of Shiva Swarupa alone, which is the substratum for all these phenomena, but which is not tainted or touched in the least by any of them, enemies or friends or any others. So, Shiva Swarupa means it does not mean that one of the trinities or Trimurtis. It is Shiva means the Paramatma here, what they are saying. You can say as Srimanarayana, or you can say as Parabrahma, or you can say as Adishakti or anything, but it is the ultimate reality. That is Shiva. Now, here represented by this word Shiva. Shiva means the term means Shiva. What it means? It's Shubham or Kalyanam or Bangala, auspicious. It is Shiva means good, goodness. Shubha. So, Shiva Swarupa alone, which is the substratum for all these phenomena, but which is not tainted or touched in the least by any of them. Only to these holy men accrues the superlative. Intuitive knowledge of identity with the Ishvara or the Lord Creator of the universe, as propounded in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, viz. Eko Deva Sarvabhuteshu Udah Sarvavyapi Sarvabhutantaratma Karmadhyakshas Sarvabhutadhivasah Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunascha. Meaning, one divine being inheres in all creatures. He is innermost dweller in all the actions, in all the creatures. He is the Lord Commander or controller of all actions, one who has settled down, residing in all creatures, the witnessing principle of the very essence of Chaitanya or pure consciousness, one who is non dual, without anything second to him, one who is not in the least related to or associated with any guna or quality whatsoever. Nirgunascha. To wit, the ultimate goal of all human existence is to realize here and now in this lifespan that this I notion in us is, in the ultimate intuitive analysis, identical in all aspects with our Shiva Swarupa. But just now, as it appears, it is a mere misconception or a superimposition on our Swarupa. The word Shiva means the essential nature of auspiciousness or Mangala Swarupa. Parameshwara or the Supreme Lord, who is our Atman alone, is of very essence or embodiment of extreme supreme bliss prosperity. There do not at all exist any trace of blemishes or shortcomings which bring in their wake misery or retrogression. He is always the support or substrate for prosperity or blissful nature. All that is believed to be beneficent, blissful in this world is indeed supported by and dependent upon him only. For he alone is its Atman or core of being. Those who remember him or surrendered unto him with full faith get all their desired objectives fulfilled. For only when we attain to our Atmaswarupa or essential nature as the innermost self and get set or established in that intuitive experience, we can claim that Purushartha or the goal of human existence is achieved. Then alone we can say confidently that we have attained the Purushartha or that we have become Kritakritya. From all these, Kritakritya means it has been done what all to have to be done. Kritakritya. Kritya means to be done. Krita means done. So, what all we have to achieve that have been achieved. That is Kritakritya. From all these reasons that Parameshwara is called or addressed as Shiva in all the Shrutis, Upanishads and Smritis like Gita, etc., those who have intuited this Swarupa so as to culminate in their own experience here and now, this Atma Swarupa as depicted in this above Shruti verse, realize that they are no other than that Shiva Swarupa and live without any trace of anxiety or grief. That is the first shloka you have seen. Next, dissolution of the delusion of Jivatva. Second point. If you are truly Shiva Swarupa or of the very essence of auspiciousness and absolute reality, then how come this belief that we are jivas or transmigratory souls arise in us? What is the reason for the appearance of sukha and dukkha, which do not at all exist in Shiva Swarupa, as if they really exist? If it is affirmed that they do not at all really exist, these do not at all really exist, then what is the reason for these to appear to be really existing to all the people? When even the Vedantins who propound that they are not jivas, jivatva itself is misconceived, are carrying on the day to day transactions just like the others, what evidence, pramana, is there to affirm that jivatva is destroyed or sublated? Such a doubt may arise in the minds of some of us, if not all. Is it not? As a solution for this inquiry, this second verse states. So, what is this second verse? Rajvajnanad bhati rajjau yathahi swatma jnanadatmano jiva bhavah aptoktyahi bhranti nasho sarajjuhu jivo naham deshikoktya shivoham. That is the second verse or shloka. Rajju ajnanad bhati. Just as because the rope is not correctly cognized, similarly, ajnanad bhati rajju cognized as Hivatva appears to cognize the object preceptor realizes that Jivo Jiva verily Shivaya. Commentary. Because of the reason, so this is a simple translation or meaning of the shloka. Commentary, when we see in detail, we will see the subject in the commentary. I think this we can see in the next session, already 15 minutes. Thank you. Hare Rama.